All right, and we're live.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean we're on the standby screen, but we're still live.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Do not adjust your set. We are controlling the horizontal and the vertical. Everything is all right. Nothing has happened. However, because we now have Naomi monitoring the board, we're a little retro.
Mega retro.
Yeah.
Mega retro, because that was
So-
the only stuff that was.
Yeah.
I mean, there was the other stuff, but this was the one that
Yeah.
got
So,
saved.
I'm gonna let Illy take most of the story on this one because it involves her heavily. But to set the stage, so last night we are getting ready for the show. I mean, I got my computer up, I got everything set up. I'm waiting for her to boot hers up. Go in and check on the pets, and she boots hers up,
And
boots up her
suddenly-
computer, and
yeah, it's suddenly like turned off. It locked,
yes,
and I'm like, Brandon, this thing turned off, and I'm like, what did I poke, or did somebody do something? Like, I thought everything at that point. Like, did I get hacked or whatever? No, turns out that the fan just stopped working.
yeah. The fan on her computer suddenly just went kaput, and it gave like an error message and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so she goes into panic mode.
Yeah, I went into super mega panic mode.
Yeah. So we were gonna like, okay, well, let's open it up and let's see what we can do. We actually contacted General Tech Support Savior. Thank you for the help. Seriously, if you're
Yeah.
listening, thank you for the help.
And I tried to contact my friends, but nobody was available.
Because it's a Saturday night, and Saturday
Yeah.
nights, as we know, are all right for fighting.
Yeah, so
AEW Collision. That's like.
anyway, the thing is that we tried looking up how to fix it. Like, I told Brandon a couple of days ago, I heard like a rattling, like a little rattling me. Something got in there, or
I
something
think it was just a
got
thing
out.
giving out.
So, like, the days prior, it was working fine. I was doing my thing, and then suddenly, last night I said, like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm leaving. I'm going on Union because you overused me.
Got union break. So now we're in the position of we need to find a person to fix this because look, it's as good as I am with software and all that. And also we'll get to my story in a little bit, but there's a reason why I really couldn't get in there to save my life.
Yeah.
And so she's like, oh, da, da. I'm like, okay, well, let's go to Best Buy. You know, Best Buy is right down the street. We can check them out. They wanted $90 just to ship it.
Yeah, and they were not gonna.
Give it to us in a month.
Yeah, it was like 3 to 4 weeks.
And that's for an update. That's not even for
Yeah,
air.
to see what the hell it has. Like, bro, I already know what it is.
Yeah.
And they're
So,
like, well,
and then she started looking around other places, and I was like, hey, we have a micro center down here. And anybody that knows tech knows what that is. And now I'm spending the next 2 hours convincing her to do this because she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, what do we got to lose?
yeah.
So we go over there today, stand in line, wait. Guy takes our computer, comes back. Yeah, it's the fan. So we'll have it ready by next week.
Yeah, like the guy said, like, so it's gonna be like 40 to do the thing, and the piece is gonna cost you between 30 and 40. Really? So you can pay up front this, and then the part
Half and half, basically.
Yeah, and me. That's great. I was expecting to spend more, to be perfectly honest.
No,
And-
you're basically buying for the part and labor.
And the guy just said, like, look, this thing is kind of loose. I'm just going to glue it a bit. And so it's set, and that's it. I mean, really? Because I got panicky because I saw that fan, and that fan looked dirty.
Yeah.
He's like, it's fine. It's like, I feel like he's like, I've seen worse. Like, this is nothing.
He's also sitting there like, I have like 3 or 4 ahead of you that were a nightmare. This is the easiest thing I'm going to do all
like,
day.
I was like, no, that's fine. And
Because wasn't that the guy remember the little tiny guy that was trying to lift the like 10,
Yeah.
the case that was bigger than him?
Yeah, like, there was like a little guy before us, a little Asian
I even offered to help him, and he's like, no, I got.
It's like, that guy, the computer is bigger than him.
Yeah,
Jesus
and then the
Christ.
guy just grabbed the computer, took it in the back. That was that.
So
It's like, next!
it was a great experience.
Or then there was the old man who, like, we got a notification on her phone to go and wait and get up
Yeah.
there. And we're standing there like, okay, well, next in line, we see nobody up there. And then they call the guy's name, and he just shot us this look like, yes, that's me. And I'm like,
Okay.
okay, cool.
And we just sat, like, well, I don't know how that works. This is the first time that I'm here, idiot.
And then he had the world's oldest laptop.
Yeah, I told Brendan, like, man, that guy had like an old fucking laptop. My dad used to have those. And the guy, because we hear everything, honestly, we heard all the gossip about the guy, like, oh, yeah, the motherboard exploded and you have to have a new memory bank and all that crap. And it's like, don't worry, we took out everything that we could and that you should have, and that's fine. And that moment, Brandon told me, like, they do that. Like, they take all your information and they give it to you on the side.
So, the good news of all this is the computer is salvageable. We'll have it next week. The bad news is, for those of you that are into seasons, probably a little break, just a smidge of a break, right?
Yeah. It's
And
gonna take
La Editora is now hearing this going, oh, thank God.
I mean, I told Rockabell
Yeah.
that it was gonna be taken.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was devastated. Like, I died.
Yeah, and I'm just like, it'll be fine.
But it's just that. And the worst thing was the people that I tried to talk with, and they're like, "No, they're gonna tell you to buy a newer one because." I mean, okay.
And I'm like, it'll be fine.
And this guy was like, "No, it's simple. It's a basic bitch." I mean, wow. Okay.
And then we had the bigger problem at Micro Center of walking out of there without things.
Oh my God, my hands were burning. Like, I told Brandon, like, my credit card was talking me in Sauron. like the ring was like, it was telling me things like, you can buy it. You can take it.
So she goes to the bathroom and leaves me unattended.
Oh my God.
And she comes back, I'm like, hey, look what I found. And it's like, we have found all these retro game systems, which I'm going to be reviewing through the week. I'm going to kind of go through and see what pros and cons are. Because, I don't know, I have a feeling next Saturday when I walk out of there, I might have one in my hand. I'm not going to lie. They're $80.
Yeah, that wasn't expensive.
Yeah.
There was like this one that had the Super Nintendo,
The Genesis,
the
and
Genesis.
a Super Famicom.
Yeah, it was like, Jesus Christ.
And then if you wanted to spend more money, and I don't know if I have my Game Boy games. This is the only reason I'm really 100% sure on it. They have a thing that you can plug your Game Boy Advance games into the thing, and you can play it on the big screen.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah, but I don't know if I still have my Game Boy Advance games, so that's why I'm kind of hesitant.
I think that's neat.
Yeah. It's just neat.
But there was a lot of shit.
Yeah. Like, obviously, it's like if you're a tech person, you know what Micro Center is. If you have one near you, you're like, yes,
no,
yes.
That was scary. I told Brandon, like, my hands are burning. I don't want to be here anymore. Let's go.
Then we go to the
go.
most nice Walmart we've ever been in.
Oh my God, that's the nicest Walmart I ever put my foot on. Like, all the toy things
Mm-hmm.
and shit, they were like so nicely arranged, and the place was nice. Even Brandon said, like, this looks like a Target. Like, a very nice Target.
Yeah.
So,
I don't want that.
what's up?
No, I was just trying to do something here.
Why are
Yeah,
you
it's not going to work. Okay. So before we get to my story, I do want to take a moment here. We have some new followers on the channel.
Do we know?
Yes. I mean,
Wow.
now, I was going to announce this last night, but obviously, you know,
Hmm.
because we didn't have a show last night. Man, this thing is just being a bitch. Sorry, I'm just trying to... Because these names are a little more convoluted than I'm... Are you kidding me? Really? Alright, sorry about that, guys.
Really? Toxie.
Well, I was going to give them shout-outs proper,
Oh.
but it's not letting me, so... Ugh! This is why I hate my laptop's computer mouse. Alright, so Toxic Anomaly Gaming, Jay Dazama, is that right?
Damisa.
Damiza, okay, and Reverend, welcome to the cult. Thank you so much for subscribing. That takes us to 190, which means we are now 10 away, barring robots getting banned, which is
Yeah.
usual now anymore. Barring robots getting banned, we are 10 away from 200. So, I believe the raffle's still in play if we actually ever get around to that.
Oh, yeah. If it happens.
Yeah, and you still have people you need to do that first thing for anyway.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. So, I want to say thank you to those guys for joining. If you guys are listening to this on YouTube, consider subscribing on YouTube and, you know, get notifications when we throw these up there. If you are on Twitch, give us a follow.
It's
If you're-
free.
Yeah, it's free. If you got a Prime subscription, you like what you're hearing, you want to hear it ad-free, send us that money from Bezos. We'll take it. Or if you just want to donate your own money, we'll take your own money too.
Yeah, we'll take anything.
We're not.
We're sluts.
Cash, card, whatever.
Yeah, we're sluts.
Sacrificial blood. You know,
Yeah,
we're pretty open.
Yep, yep, yep.
All right. So on my end, typical day at work on what was it? Wednesday or Tuesday?
It was Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. That's right. Yeah, that's right. It's Tuesday. Yeah. So we're cleaning at work and doing some things, and I had to clean brushes. and got a roller, and next thing you know, I'm just gonna cut right to it, quite literally. I'm cleaning, all of a sudden, up goes my fingernail on my
Yep.
thumb.
Goodbye his fingernail.
It's actually still attached. That's
It's
the funny
still
thing.
there, but it was disgusting.
Yeah. So it happens. I'm like, "Hey, boss, this happened," and then I have my coworkers all running around like lunatics, trying to make sure. When the coffee guy comes in, did I tell you about the coffee guy? Oh yeah, you did.
You did.
Yeah. So the coffee guy comes in and he sees what's going on, and God bless him, he went and got some Neosporin, he got some Band-Aids. I was like, this is the best I can do to help you guys out right now. Like, he didn't have to do
I
that.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
no,
sweet.
it was really, he's a really nice guy, so thank you, sir. And so everybody's running around, my boss is looking at the emergency charter who to call, and it's what are we doing with Brandon? And he's like, I'm like, oh, hey, can you get some French vanilla creamer? And I need this. And my coworker's like, you're
Really?
the only person. Yeah, she looked at me like, what? And then it's like, the next day she said, it's like, of course, you're freaking bleeding, and the first thing you think is order coffee.
Because you need the perfect cup of coffee, Brandon. That's why.
Hey,
No.
we all sins at the end.
But yeah, no, I love that I was like laying in bed, just chilling. I mean, okay, I need to do this, and then suddenly I saw the call. I mean, okay, and I call him because I missed it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, what's up? And you're like, hey, and me, oh my god, what the fuck happened? That's instantly
Yeah.
what I thought. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah. Oh, mind you, as they're like looking around for the ER chart, a customer comes in. I'm like, oh, go up front. Okay. I mean, they didn't let me. So the fact that like one of them was like, sit down, and I'm like, I don't know how to sit down. You should know this by now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to help out, and then one was like, well, it's just like, oh no, it's this. It's gonna be this. Make sure they get this. My manager's looking at me like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, helping.
Without the nail. But
Yeah, I
that's
mean, I can't
fine.
do much. Like, at one point, I was just sitting there, and it's like they're looking at me, and I just started lifting my finger up like I was hitchhiking because I didn't know what to do. I'm just like, huh? Huh?
No, my God. No,
Yeah.
God bless those girls. They were losing
Yeah.
their fucking patience. Me. That's what I deal daily.
Yeah.
Daily. Oh, and you almost choke at night. That was the
Yeah,
best
well.
thing. It's like, Jesus Christ.
And then, I didn't tell you this, I'm not going to get too far into it, but basically, there's new rules that they have because of me. And I just said that day, it's like, see, because of me, they had to change things, like that Simpsons thing where Homer got, it's like, because of me, they had to make an edit on the quote.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
but it's all right. It's a pain in the ass. Just gonna say that.
Yeah, like earlier today, we're at the micro center and he hit it just right. He was like, I mean,
Which is very rare for me because usually I'm like, oh, whatever.
No. He says that. You said that you have like a blood thing happening
Yeah.
there. Like you feel the pain, but you don't feel it. So.
Feel the pain of
Oh
nothing.
my god. Anyway, he's fine. Like I love that he was telling me that apparently when he was going on his way to the place, what was it? You had your thumb up with all the gauze and shit. I mean, of
Yeah.
course.
Well, the thing is, not to get too like disturbing, but it's like this was hanging by a thread
Yeah.
to the point that one of my coworkers looked at me like, they're ripping that out, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I'm not even phased by it.
Yeah, you told me like they're probably gonna take it off. Really, I mean, okay, you're
Yeah.
not gonna touch me with that.
So I get there. I'm in pretty quick. All right, I'm in pretty quick. And that's usually a sign of like, okay, something's going on here. But then it's one of those, okay, if it's a very serious thing, they're going to pop right back in here. If it's not a very serious thing, I'm going to be sitting here for a bit. 20 minutes go by, the doctor comes in. He's like, hey, how you doing? Fine. All right, let me have a look at it. Why are you here?
That's what Phoebe
The employee of the month is active, FYI.
Yeah.
But the doctor was more like, I think it was because it was 5 o'clock and the place closed at 5. He was kind of like, why are you here? It's like, I can rip it out if you want, but I have to numb your hand. I have to do extra steps. It's just not worth it.
Right.
So they sent me home, told me, here, gauze it up, and here's some tape, and get out of my face.
Just clean it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, soap and water. And it's actually working, honestly.
Yeah. Honestly, it doesn't look infected or anything. Phoebe, what the hell? If you can hear like a it's Phoebe.
Yeah, she wants attention.
Yeah, she's an attention whore. But he's doing pretty okay. For what
Pain in the
it's
ass
worth.
here and there.
Yeah. So
And then, we got the freeze going on. By the way, if you are affected by any of this cold, please stay inside, stay warm. Let us entertain you.
Yeah.
If it's cold and snowy, don't go out if you don't have to. Please be safe. We don't want people getting hurt because of something like this.
Yeah.
If you're in Texas and basically if you're south of Dallas, grow the fuck up.
Yeah, that's what the Brandon said. Right now we're in the bunker. Brandon actually.
Gee, a guy who lived in Ohio was like knows how to deal with cold. What a weird thing.
Brandon isolated every fucking window in this house. The best thing was that last night, like, I went to bed and such. I turned out everything, and then suddenly I came out, and I told him, Brandon, the fucking room is burning. It's so hot. He's like, but I have it off. I have it off. I mean, well, it's fucking hot. I mean, I saw like the bunker. I mean, oh, that's why you're being isolated. And so
had to start sooner or later.
right.
Yeah, but they're forecasting here. Like, I always love local forecasts because they're always fascinating. Because it's like, hi, this is so and so with your need to know weather, and so there's a winter storm coming. But are you ready for it? And are you prepared? And if you do not stop watching us, you will die.
It is true. They're like that.
It's all over the place. It's not just here. I mean, it was just as bad in Ohio.
Yeah, like what was it that your father used to say? They say that so they don't get in trouble or something.
Which was bullshit.
Yeah, I say like that's a very old time.
I think the better opinion I heard, and it's one I actually kind of agree with, is they get commission based on per warnings. Like if it's serious, they have to go on air. They get like a bonus.
I was gonna say that usually, or back in the day, they used to have like if viewers have like an amount of viewers that they get like more quota.
Oh yeah.
So they just say like, stay tuned so you can see what the fuck is going on. So
and I was one of those. I mean, I was one of those weather nerds that's like, I don't care. It's like, oh, you interrupted the big game. That's fine. Can I watch this? Ooh, let me see that radar again. That's awesome. Like I was into it. It was more because I was just interested in seeing how things were developing. It wasn't so much I was fearing for my life.
I remember that when back in Ohio, you used to like put on the background the Weather Channel thing.
Yep.
I don't remember where the fuck you watched it. But it was like, the song is ingrained in my fucking brain because it's like, oh my god, it's Brandon watching that now. Great. So.
Yeah, it is what it is.
But we're going to sleep, so.
Yeah, it was effective. And the cat's taking a pet bed.
Yeah,
okay.
of course. I brought it for fucking Phoebe, so she stopped bitching and she's like, nah.
So, for this week, like I said, we are on the MacGyver studio and we put the retro filter on us. And next week we'll be back to normal. So if you're just tuning in, this is not how we normally look. This is how we started. This is like back in the day style.
Yeah, back in 2023. Was it 23?
22.
Oh, 22. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
well, it was just you and me. And then, so do not adjust here. It's all good. Long story short, computer will be fixed next week, and then we can go back to normal.
Yeah, usually we have like even music on the background, but it's like
Tonight is tonight.
Tonight is just us rambling for a couple of hours. So
yeah, we also got some news here. We had a show prepared for last night.
Surprisingly,
it's just,
we did. We still have.
Yeah, and some of the stuff I just want to talk about because it's like insane. But it's probably gonna be an encapsulated version of the show that we usually do because I know you want to kind of unwind, and I know you don't have to go to work tomorrow, but you have a ritual and you want to get on a schedule.
Yeah, my ritual is to kill a virgin before bed so I can keep myself young, and then watch some Oni plays, and then die.
Okay.
That's pretty much my ritual, FYI.
Fair enough.
It's been working.
Hey, whatever makes you happy, hon. But so where do we start here? Why don't you start with this is going to be an AI centric episode also, unfortunately, and it's because AI decided to go fuck you crazy this week.
Do you want me to talk about the AI thing from Wacom?
Why don't you go ahead? We can start with that. So Illy's going to take the lead on this one.
So last week, at the start of the week, or if at the start of the month, Wacom was starting to do their promotionals for the new Wacom screen thingy.
Wacom is also a drawing tablet maker, so we know we're on the same page.
If anyone knows, I'm very into digital drawing. I don't have a Wacom because I heard a lot of bad critiques on the battery and how the thing itself, it's fucked up. Like the battery source and such. Even though that it doesn't have a self battery, you need to connect it much like the one that I have. It bloats. So it breaks the fucking frame. And a lot of my friends that are actually pros on that shit have been changing them yearly. It's like, that thing should not be like that. It should last you a couple of years. So anyway, they did an ad, and if anyone is in anything of the Chinese year, this Chinese year is with a dragon. So, they did like a promo of a classic Chinese little red dragon, and they posted it on Twitter. Yo, turns out that the little stupid retarded dragon was AI.
Uh-oh.
It was made by AI. Like, you can honestly see it on the details.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, bro, like, you're supposed to be a company that does that.
Spaghetti!
It actually sounded.
Yeah, it's actually, so FYI, again, we're on a microphone, no headsets tonight. We're filtering through, so if you hear some feedback, sorry, guys.
So anyway.
But the sounds work. We can confirm it.
Yay!
So feel free to use them, guys.
Anyway, the thing of the matter was that everyone started to complain and critique Wacom. Like,
Okay.
you're supposed to be the one thing.
You were the chosen one!
Yes, you were supposed to be the one thing that actually all of us artists for real, because AI artists are not artists. I'm sorry, fuck you guys.
We're going to get to that in a minute, because if you think that, I got one that is, like, just, I've been fuming on, which is probably the only reason we're doing this show tonight, is I
I'm
want to get this
shaking
out.
my fucking head. Everyone started to do that. I found out by it because I follow, like, this talented artist. She does both digital and traditional.
Yeah.
And she just said, like, point blank, I'm never going to do digital again, because why? If the company that is actually part of the thing that us artists are trying to do, like, why the fuck?
Excuse me.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Am I boring?
No.
And it's like, why am I going to try? Like, she pretty much point blank stopped everything. She put, like, a bunch of projects she was working, and she just, like,
I'm out.
like, fuck this shit. She just left. Like, I'm out. Like, I'm gonna start doing traditional. I was like, I got nothing to, like, argue with that. That's fine. A bit harsh. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But that's the way the fucking AI bros are making it.
Yeah, and it's not so much the fault of the artist, it's the AI bros. I think that's where we're really at.
I am of the opinion that the AI is a help. It's a
Yes.
tool.
Yeah.
It should not be doing everything. It drives me fucking insane to go to Pinterest and find millions of fucking pictures.
Well, you'll even
that are-
find that on, like, Mastodon now, too. Like, yeah, they'll actually put a tag that says AI art, so you can just go, boop, block, done.
Yeah, no, I stopped following people right now. A lot of people started showing up their ugly colors, like, oh no, it's just that. Just because you don't know how to draw, you're not putting the effort. Me being a former teacher of arts, I used to teach kids this for years, every fucking summer.
Yeah.
And I told them, if you can draw a fucking stick in a circle, guess what? You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's just a matter of editing the set circle, the set line.
Okay.
It's just a matter of that. But this people is like, no, I can type what I think, and the thing will do is like, yo, no, it's not. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Yeah. So, basically, this is not stopping you from doing digital, obviously.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah,
At
so
all.
for those of you worried about the waifu corner, it will be back. It's just taking a hiatus with the computer.
Yeah. Like I said, my computer said, fuck you. I'm
The
gonna-
the tablet's sitting there like, all right.
the title is like, okay, vacations, I guess.
Yeah,
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I think the problem is that people criticize me that I use models.
How's that
Okay.
any different than AI?
I'm using models, okay. I made them and moved them around. It's like, what's the difference between the people
Well,
that have the like the little figures? Take a picture
Yeah.
and draw over it.
Well, that's like if you actually go over to our Discord. Like, I don't know. I posted a couple on Twitter also and on Mastodon. But it's like I have these G.I. Joe classified figures I've been using for
Oh,
a
yeah.
while, and it's just been kind of something I kind of just started doing. But it's a lot like what you're doing with your figures, except I'm kind of doing perspective angles. Like I think the one I had was where they're firing the sniper rifle, but you're looking at it from where he would be shooting from.
I used to do that with
Yeah,
them.
but that's what I'm saying. It's sort of the same concept what you're doing.
It's
It's
the
just
same-
I'm not doing a drawing. I'm just doing a picture.
Well, in my case, it's like I grab like the two models.
Yeah.
And I adjust them, and then from that I
Yeah.
do my art. Mm-hmm. Like it's the same thing. It's like okay, I'm drawing over it, but what's
Well, I thought you would like use those when I got you those. Like I got her like the nice SH figure art ones, like the premium ones.
yeah, you're looking at me stinky. I know.
No, it's fine. But I got them also because like we were doing a story at that point. We were working on something that was going to be requiring a lot of movement or something, and I thought, well, if nothing else, what it'll do is like, let's say you need to get close in for like a fight or something.
I use.
But I
them-
can set it up for you with the diorama so you know what to do, like the hands and all that, was my
So,
thought.
The good thing about that is that it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Clip Studio has it already
Oh,
integrated.
yeah, no, I get it.
So it's always good. By the way, thank you for whoever is here.
Yeah.
Hearing us ramble. It's kind of nice to have people hearing
Yeah.
us ramble.
Don't be afraid to stop in. Yeah,
Yeah,
feel free to
don't-
talk, guys.
Don't be afraid of like poking and bothering us.
We very much like an interactive show, but we also understand if you are just here to chill and just lurk, you're not obligated to join or anything. You know,
Yeah.
if you can give us a follow, that's good enough for
Yeah,
us.
cool beans. Anyway,
Yeah.
so Brandon, just tell me. What did AI do you this week? Let me pat you on the shoulder. Oh,
All right, ready?
oh my God.
Okay. So, full disclosure here, I am a lifelong Carlin fan.
Right.
I grew up on Carlin, and by Carlin I mean George
George
Carlin.
Carlin.
Yeah. So, obviously he died years ago. It was a very sad time for me.
George Carlin was that one dude from Bill and Ted, the one from the
Rufus.
Yeah, the one in the what is it? The telephone thingy. Just
Yeah, the telephone
Just
booth.
so people know.
Yeah, we had, this is our MacGyver version.
My computer died, Damon King. So this is the OG, the one that I had saved up.
Yeah, you're looking at retro version MNR.
This is how it used to look 2 years ago.
Yeah. For those of you that's joining us, computer's fine. It's in the shop. It'll be back next week. Well, we should be back to normal next weekend. So, you know, just don't panic. We're all good. Everything worked out. Went to Micro Center. Life goes on.
Lit a candle just for her.
Yeah. But so lifelong Carlin fan here. Also, he was Cardinal Glick in Dogma.
Oh yeah.
He
He's
was
the
the
one that
dad
was-
in the Ben Affleck movie, Big Dad, or was it Big Dad? No, that was the Adam Sandler one. He was in Jersey Girl. That was the one. He was
Okay.
the dad in Jersey Girl. Also, I'm just trying to kind of.
I'm trying to think where I saw
He
him.
was Mr. Conductor on the Shining Time Station. Yes, George Carlin.
He wasn't. He was. I didn't know this. He was in Scary Movie 3. And he was the architect from The Matrix, but in that movie.
Oh, that makes sense for him. Yeah.
Like, oh shit, that was George Carlin. Anyway,
So, he's passed on. Obviously, it sucked for all of
while
us.
ago, yeah.
Then, this wonderful thing called artificial intelligence has cropped up. And there is an AI by the name of Dudsy that this week released a Carlin, I don't know, so I'm not sure if it's an impersonation. Like, they kind of tell you at the front of it that it's an impersonation and all that. But it's like, I'm not sure if it's an impersonation or parody at this point. And it's titled, I'm Glad I'm Dead.
yeah, you said that.
Yeah. And so it's basically Dudsy, if you don't know what it is, there was an actor by the name of Will Sasso, whose famous credits include Mad TV, the Three Stooges live-action movie with all the new guys,
Ugh.
and the 1996 Doctor Who movie. He was in like a side character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's something.
Oh, he did 3 things. Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, and he was in some other show called Neighbors from Hell, which, if you don't know what any of these shows are except for Doctor Who, fair. I mean, Mad TV was all right, but I think the funny thing is, out of all the people on Mad TV that went somewhere, it was Key and Peele.
Yeah, well.
They got their start there.
Yeah, and boy, howdy, they're fine.
Yeah, they're doing A-okay. Him and a guy named Chad Cutson, he did the Burt Wonderstone movie. He wrote that, by the way. And the book Men, Women, and Children.
Oh, boy.
He is a novelist, so we're already setting a very high bar. And by high bar, I mean, hang on, let me move my foot, and there we go, we're over it.
Oh my god.
Look, is that fair to say?
Look, but Burt Wonderstone was funny, but it was just funny.
Yeah.
Force funny.
Yes, and ironically, we're talking about this. They created this program, Dudsy, as a way of getting ahead of AI in comedy, which to me sounds like bullshit. Well, as it goes on, Kelly Carlin, George Carlin's daughter, kind of got a little pissed off with these guys, and rightfully so. Let's see here. What did I write? Kelly Carlin had blasted and condemned the project with a play on the title, saying, "I'm sorry, your channel isn't dead." And also pointing out to like Robin Williams' family, Gary Shamling, a couple others, like, hey, if they're doing this to my dad, they can do this to you guys
Beware.
too. Yeah,
Yeah,
beware. She also said at the end, next thing you know, they'll be resurrecting Jesus
They already did.
with AI, is what she's saying.
They already probably
Yeah.
did. Have you seen that video of him coming out of the rock playing Freebird? Jesus Christ.
Well, that was just established science at that point. We all know that.
I still love that fucking video. It doesn't go old. But well, anyway.
Yeah. No, but this is a scary thing to me about like the comedy side of this, because it's like their argument was like, well, we're getting ahead of the AI inevitably going into comedy, and I don't know if anybody has followed stand-up or anything like that in your lives, but it is very frowned upon to steal material from other comedians, and I can give you 2 words to prove that. Carlos Mencia.
Carlos Mencia?
Oh yeah, he stole.
Carlos Mencia.
You don't remember him, do you? That was Gabriel Iglesias.
Oh.
He was the guy, Mind of Mencia on Comedy Central. Does that ring a bell?
No.
Yeah, he was a kind of he was a hot thing for like 5 minutes.
Oh,
but
wait.
then
That's the one that my cousin used to talk a lot.
maybe, but you'll see a picture of him probably. You're looking him up now.
Mm-hmm.
But he was accused of stealing, and once they found out,
Yep.
his career went down.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Yeah.
I saw him. Ooh.
So if you're thinking, I don't know what they were thinking, it's like, well, AI is going to get ahead of this. I'm of the opinion that I've heard a clip of this.
Mm-hmm.
It does not, like, okay, I understand that you need to get, like, the thing to train it and all that. This does not sound like Carlin. This sounds like a impression of an impression, which makes sense because the guy Will Sasso did an impression of Carlin, apparently.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, we had a lot to talk about in the car. because
Yeah,
it's a long ride.
but I'm more floored that people thought that this was a good idea. Also, these guys have done comedy routines where they had the AI impersonate Alex Jones and Matthew McConaughey also.
What?
So this is not the first time they've done something like this.
So,
But I kind of like Carlin's daughter basically said, you know, you should go on to their show and just point out to them, hey, you shouldn't be working with this thing, and maybe, you know, point out that this is a bad idea.
and the problem is that I feel like that's impersonation. Isn't that like a fucking illegal or something?
Well, that's where I'm kind of wondering, it's like where they're going to go with the end game of this, because it's like you could honestly, if it's an impression of an impression, I hate saying this, but an argument could be made, it's almost parody.
It should be considered parody.
But also, you do realize, like, the right wingers would love to get a Carlin, like, on their side. Because Carlin was very anti-authority, very anti-government, like,
Right.
all the things, like, the conspiracy theorists love. And he would have been the first one to look at the conspiracy theorists and go, you know, you're full of shit too, right? And I know for years, like, there are some libertarians and others that, like, you know, quote Carlin, kind of take it out of context also.
Right.
Carlin never was really on anybody's side. He was always the man on the island by himself,
Right.
quite gleefully, and some would argue he threw himself there for the benefit of society. I mean, it all depends on your view of things.
Right.
But very anti-police, very anti-government, all that stuff. So the fact that, you know, right-wingers would love to get him on that, I just have 2 words. Well, 3 words. Joe bless you.
Joe Bush. Oh, yeah.
Because if you're a Christian conservative and you don't know that routine, that proves how full of shit you are.
Eh. I mean,
And worship the sun also.
honestly, they're just trying to make a buck with somebody else.
No, but they want to co-opt that because it's weirdly like that Simpsons episode. You remember where Homer kind of suddenly became like an expert at killing celebrities?
No.
It was a Halloween special. But he like inadvertently killed like a celebrity, and then like a company was like, "Hey, we now got the license to him because he's dead. So if you keep killing all these guys, we can start having them hawk all our stuff." And so there was a scene at the end where it's like you see all this work done, and then like they all came down from heaven and started kicking the crap out of them.
I was kind of thinking.
So it's weirdly not that far off.
I was thinking about the in South Park when they do the holograms, and they're like, I feel like that's what they want to do. Like, oh, I just want to be my hologram of X person, so I have the right to be as popular as like, no, that's the thing.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, with the hologram thing, there was I think in the Comedy Museum, I forget where it's at, but they were actually talking with the daughter of Carlin, Kelly, about maybe doing a hologram of George Carlin with her blessing, and it would be like reciting routines he used to do and stuff like that, but it'd be like which would actually be kind of cool because it's like stand-up's a very intimate thing, and if you got people with you on that, you kind of get that little slice of, even if it's a hologram, you felt like you'd be in the audience. I can see where they're going with that one, and I don't necessarily disagree with it, especially if the family's on board. You were going to say, I'm sorry.
No, but I've seen that kind of holograms, and they look really...
Yeah, I don't think it got
weird.
that far. I don't think it got that far
No,
yet.
I think I saw a couple of them, but it's I don't know. It's technology that is like hitting, and people are just using it stupid right now.
Well, and again, I'm not against, for all I've just said and all we just said in general about AI, I'm not against it. Like, I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing, I know Tekken's going to implement something with AI, not in a way that is going to affect, but I kind of like the idea of it's going to use AI as a punching bag, essentially. Like, you'll train with people that use the AI mimics to improve. I kind of like that idea. That's a great effective use, not well, we're going to take a text-to-speech program. Oh, we forgot to take it out of the game. Guess we're going to have to patch it in, but the disc is going to launch with it. Whoops!
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Ubisoft did that, but that's a story for another time. I kind of want to let that one breathe because I'm not sure. But that's just one example. Or using AI for, I don't know, NFTs. I mean, there's a lot of things that it could be exploited with. And when there's good ideas, I'm not saying it's bad.
Let's be fair. When the NFT things came out, a lot of people were stealing art already.
They still are.
They grabbed the stuff from, let's say, DeviantArt. They grab an icon from somebody and just colored it differently and sold it.
If they even did that.
No, they did. Because there was like a bunch of people that do like the little animals, and you know how they were popular. Right now, I think, if I'm correct, and that was the thing that happened this week, Twitter, fuck you. Twitter is actually canceling all the NFT profiles options that they have, because before they used to do like, you can, if you have money, you can put this, you know, but now they're like, no, we don't want NFTs in our platform. I mean, well, that's good. What are you doing?
Check for something. There it is.
Well.
By the way, I'll wait till this.
And the crowd goes wild.
See. By the way, don't forget, guys, if you are new to the channel and all that, and you want to change the topic, if you have the points, you can spin the wheel of chaos. And we don't have that this week.
You don't have that this week, Brandon.
Next week, or we'll just change subject. We'll just use that as a change subject notice this week.
Yeah. So we used to have a wheel of fucking names, and the wheel of fucking names is in the internet on my side. Damn.
Again, we're very MacGyvered, so bear with us, guys.
Yeah.
So AI is kind of. There's also the whole like SAG-AFTRA thing that happened this week with the AI, which I still need to kind of do some research on because I'm not 100% on it, and that's probably going to be a story for next week. It's a weird time with AI in that I feel like we're finally getting through the thick of it with the people trying to take advantage of it, and we're also now getting to the point where corporations are trying to take that mantle, and then there are people who are like, well, we're just trying to do something with this that makes it worthwhile. So it's a weird time to kind of be in AI more because it's going in, like, there's a tug of war between the corrupt and the people trying to use it right going on right now, and there's no idea of where it's landing just yet.
It's just, I don't know I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I feel like on my end, I'm bad at backgrounds. Correct?
You got better.
Sometimes. So what I'm doing now is like I grab certain like artworks and then I edit them. But I edit them by hand. I don't use anything like Photoshop or anything. Like I use a base and then based on that I do the arranges and the changes and it works out. That's how I feel. It's a good way of using AI. Because you make it your own. Wow, Phoebe. Wow.
Okay.
But like the thing with the artists right now is like the thing with anyone, they're just making it extra lazy. Like, you don't want to put the effort. You don't want to put the knowledge. You don't want to put anything.
You don't want to grow.
You don't want to grow as a person. You don't want to grow as... Like, no, why? Technology is doing it by myself. Like, bro, no. Like, a calculator, I get it, but you need to know what fucking is plus and what fucking is minus.
A machine is a tool.
Yeah, it's a tool. It's what it is. And it's always going to be like that. At least on my end, that's how it's going to be.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
So...
Yeah, we're not trying to be all blah. Yeah, I mean, we're open to it. It's just, So, moving on to some real quick bite-sized news here. Yoshiki, your buddy Yoshiki.
From X-Japan.
From X-Japan. He will be doing, by the way, let's just pause here and think about this.
What?
Hello Kitty is 50 years old.
Yeah. I don't know how old Yoshiki is, and I don't want to know.
He's actually got a Walk of Fame recently.
Yeah.
By Matt Mayfield.
He's a vampire.
Yeah.
I still think that he's a vampire.
You still think he's a vampire?
Yeah.
Well, you're in the cult of Hello Kitty, so, I mean, it's just what it is.
Oh, for the love of God. Haven't any of you ever been in a cult before?
So, this is not the first time that he did this.
Yeah, didn't he have, like, a Yoshiki made of
Yeah,
himself?
he did
Yoshiki Kitty?
It was
Hello Yoshiki?
Yoshikiti, or something like that. Because it was like a Yoshiki fused with Hello Kitty. It was back in 2009, and back to...
I think we're missing a very good crossover possibility here. Hear me out on this. Agrescu. Rob Halford.
Oh my god, yeah, why not?
Like, can we get some Agrescu Judas Priest stuff going here? Huh?
It's the thing is that the leader of his shit is Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty is the leader of the ring on Sanrio. But I think he's doing a song.
Yeah, he's doing the theme song for the 50th. I mean, he did the theme song for when the Emperor in the 90s kind of took the power. He actually composed the music for that ceremony or whatever.
He plays piano like a goddamn
Oh, yeah.
angel. Like
Him and Billy Joel, man. Could you imagine those two going at it on a piano?
Have you seen Yoshiki do the... Oh, you did see him do
Yeah.
with his 360 fucking drum set.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Neil Peart did it first.
And that guy's like, my wrist hurt. I want to die. I mean, yeah.
And Neil Peart's like, yeah, try doing it with the butts up, man.
So that's I'm interested on what they're bringing out. They're probably gonna do some merch.
Well, more than likely. I mean, if they did the Sailor Moon thing for, like, what was it last year? Like the 25th or something?
I am tired of fucking Hello Kitty though. I love Hello Kitty. Don't get me wrong. But as of lately, all the Hello Kitty fandom is going to my store asking me for bullshit, and it's like, bro, why? I don't have it.
Yeah, you guys, but there used to be a Hello Kitty store around here, so maybe that's why.
Apparently, they opened one in Monterrey.
Well, when you go down there, you can go to it. Give
It's
me up a model on the cheap while you're there, will you?
probably gonna be cheaper buying it down there. Okay, come back like Brandon. So I got a new bag. It's a Hello Kitty bag, and it's full of Hello Kitty.
Oh, and by the way, it does this. You throw it up and it turns into a giant robot.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's like the Iron Man suitcase suit.
Like, you look different than me. What do you mean that I look different? I have like a big ass jacket of Hello Kitty and a big hat. And
You're
shit.
like the Simpsons where
With my
Lisa's
drip.
got the pins on her skin.
Yeah, that'd be me. So no, but yeah, I'm kind of curious on that.
Yeah.
I like both of those. Yoshiki,
Oh, yeah.
Yoshiki because he's Yoshiki, and Hello Kitty because it's Hello Kitty at the end of the day. So
Yeah. Do you think, you've kind of heard this now, I'm actually kind of curious.
What?
Who do you think is the better drummer with everything on the table? Yoshiki or Neil Peart? Who do you think is better right now? Because you've heard pretty much most of the stuff from both now.
is Neil Peart?
That's the guy from Rush.
Is he still alive?
Oh, he's been dead since 2020. That was when everything started going to hell, hon.
Yoshiki because he's still alive.
You know, that's a good argument. That's a good argument. I mean, there's a certain cap-off point.
Like, I get it. Like, is he still alive? Well, sorry, Brandon. The immortal son, the immortal person of vampirism is still around. So
Well, I'm pretty sure when Peart went up to heaven, God kind of looked at him and was like, "Can you give me a couple of pointers?" Like handing him some sticks. Like, could you just show me some things? I'm kind of learning here.
No, but I mean, I don't mean that he's bad.
Oh no, it's. I used to be a long time really big on Keith Moon. I thought Keith Moon was the best, but then one day I kind of sat there and I'm like, Peart's been around a lot longer than Keith Moon, so you have to almost give it to him simply by time of service.
Right.
Because Keith Moon kicked the bucket in the 80s, and Neil Peart has been going since 76
Okay.
to like 2018, realistically.
Okay.
Because he retired.
Okay.
But, I mean, that's you kind of got to give it to him just on service alone that he is superior. Because he always was trying to repair himself, rebuild.
Right. And I think that's the thing with this guy, because he wants to be a better, self. Definitely.
The only thing I can give that would be a good argument to this is when Pert's wife and kid died, he just disappeared for like better part of 6 years from existence. Like he just was driving around the west coast of Canada, just kind of reconnecting himself.
Right.
And then he went back, and so he was off the drums for like 6 years. And then he started playing Tom Sawyer again after a couple of months. So it's like if you think about having to rebuild that skill to that level,
So I think it's.
that's the only thing I got there. I'm not saying that you're right or wrong.
I feel like that's like. Look, I don't have a skill of that kind of shit, but it's like getting back in a bike.
Yeah, but it even said it's like the first couple of sessions were rough.
Of course, because you need to rough the rust.
Yeah.
Like move the rust from your arms and everything, because it's honestly it's an ability. It's not a thing.
Speaking also of Tekken, if you guys did not see today,
Oh boy.
the opening movie for the game came out.
Oh.
Yeah,
What'd you think?
it's an opening movie. It's
I
just
haven't seen
it's like
it.
it's like an anime introduction. That's all it is.
I haven't seen it.
No, but it's like to me, it's like an opening movie to a movie or a video game or a show is the same thing as an anime.
Okay.
It's like a teaser to make you watch. It's like the Rock the Dragon to this. It's to hook you in.
The Rock the Dragon.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's like that's my example.
We've
but
been
it's like-
talking about that too much.
No,
this
but
week.
it's like an anime. I'm using that as an example of like an anime. Like when an anime goes, they always have their intro and it's designed to hook you.
Right.
So it's like a tease of what's to come, whatever.
Right.
So I guess if it does that, I guess it works. I don't know. Whatever. The thing is, also they announced the season pass for the next year of Tekken 8,
Oh,
and they
boy.
only introduced one character.
I think your favorite, right? It's like
Brazil. Hup hup. Brazil.
the Brandon doesn't like the capoeira guy.
No, I think capoeira, in all honesty, is a waste of a martial arts style simply because it's done by rhythm.
Right.
So if you figure out the rhythm to their strikes and you know when they're going to rest and stuff, you got the pattern read.
I mean, I am 100% with that, and the Bob's Burgers episode. Was
Oh, that... Yeah.
it
that-
was so legit. Mm-hmm. I felt it in my soul.
Like, you know how bad it was? Get off tragedy here for a second. So I watched that episode, and I was like, ah... And then the next week, I went to my, so I had a group class I was running for kids that sort of, it started out as like MMA light, like teaching them submission moves and all that. And it sort of evolved into Brandon's research and development.
Research and development.
Well, it was more of this was my advanced students classes, so it was more, you all know mostly everything we can teach you. You know the basics. So let's try some new things. So we would work on combinations. We would kind of work on... like fundamentals with boxing, like getting your footwork, knowing when to do stuff, sparring with each other lightly.
Okay.
Whatever I can get away with that I could see him do. And the kids liked it. But I remember I saw that, and the next week I kind of was thinking about it, and I kind of came up with my broken rhythm theory.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, and sorry, this is going to get in fight talk all a little bit here. Everything in life has a rhythm.
Okay.
Look at music, look at video games. Everything has a rhythm to it. Would that be fair to say? Like when you
Yes.
draw, you have a rhythm.
Yeah.
So, if you pick up on people having that rhythm, you can kind of get a read on them. Like, you know how you
Right.
can read a person's movement, you kind of study a rhythm in a sense, in a subconscious way.
Right.
So, what I started teaching my students was, let's try doing a broken rhythm. And so what I would say is, like, so if we were doing stuff, I used like a metronome as an example. I would be like, so you have to go...
Right.
So I knew it was like, okay, 1, 2... Most beats go by 4s. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, T, ta, 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 stuff like that.
Okay.
I'm like, let's change this up. So you kind of know what you're doing with 1, 2, 3, 4. Why not next time go 1, 4, 2, 3, and then 3, 4? You're eventually going to have a rhythm also on
I-
that, but it's harder to read.
I know that your teacher, our teacher used to do that, like 2-2-4, 4-2-2.
Yeah, but that was for combination of punches.
Yeah.
This is what I was trying to do was now change their stance and movement. So it's
Right.
like if you knew, so I did it in a controlled way. It's like, okay, so we're going to use much like that, 1, 2, 3, 4. But instead of like a jab on the first one that they know is coming, maybe start with a kick.
Right.
Like I'm just trying to teach them to break the rhythm so they can't be read.
Right.
And then I told them, challenge your person you're working with. Make them flinch. If you can make them flinch, you leave an opening, you can do more damage. So that was my broken rhythm theory.
Right.
And that's where and so in a weird way, I have Bob's Burgers and Eddie Goro to thank for that, because I realized very quickly this rhythm will fuck you up if you just, the rhythm's gonna get you, as Gloria
Yeah,
Estefan
sure.
said.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just don't like Eddie because a lot of people that used him that I used to fight were just button masher or go-go. It was just basically they hit the same 4 buttons, but it was like you couldn't read if you didn't read that rhythm. Now that I know he's a DLC character, though, I would probably buy him and just stick him into the training mode just to practice the AI with it. Because now I have my control. Now if I'm training, I can train against that, so when I face all the Goros, I'm ready now.
You're so petty.
Hell yes.
No, Brandon, don't buy it just for being petty.
Oh, I'm going to wait for other season characters. I want to see what more is coming.
Speaking of which,
Uh-huh.
speaking of characters, did you see what they did with the Chun-Li thing?
Oh, the Yor? I think I told you about that.
Well, did you see?
Oh, the
that
mod? Yeah, I saw the mod.
Actually, somebody fixed that shit.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
Yeah, like they did God's work at this point. It's like it's
That baffled me because it's more, it's like, it's Capcom, this is a slam dunk. Like, I get you're trying to promote your Avatar thing. It was fun for 5 minutes for people. I was immediately like, I'm out! I don't want this!
Yeah, it looks very bad.
Yeah.
At least the option that they gave you is like,
Yeah.
she doesn't look like the character at all, and
It's
Oh.
just lazy, and it's like, everybody on the internet was like, so we're getting your Chun-Li, right? Like, we didn't want, like, an Avatar base that we could customize. We're just like, hot girl, fuse.
yeah.
I mean,
It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's not hard. But
This would be like the ultimate dream situation of, let's put Chun-Li in Mai's uniform from King of Fighters, and vice versa. It all wins!
everyone wins it. Okay. Phoebe.
Cool, Phoebe.
I only heard her.
Yeah, I heard that too. So if you hear our dog, apologies, but that's just how it is.
Yeah, she's been like this.
Yeah, but it's like, there's all these things. Like, honestly, I've seen some of the other King of Fighters. I've seen the other Street Fighter 6 ones. I kind of want to get the Cammy.
Okay.
The Cammy outfit. I'm like, that doesn't look bad. The one where it's like, it's the boxing glove. It's like the Steve Fox thing where it's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
that doesn't look bad. The Chun-Li or the other Chun-Li outfit doesn't look bad either. I mean, the guys look terrible.
Right.
Honestly, Ryu would have looked fine if they just put a hat on him.
A hat.
Didn't they put like a hat on him or something? They did something stupid with him.
I guess.
Yeah, it was like basically new hat Barbie. So, what now?
Oh, nothing.
Are we good?
I think she got a bit excited.
Mm. Okay, well, let's wrap up on, what time is it? Wow, we've gone only for an hour. Well, that's fine. Let's wrap up on this, because I kind of feel like we usually have a little more, apologies if we're on a weird night, but it's
Yeah.
also just, yeah.
Also, let us remember we're getting into the freeze warning thing, and we kind of need to get petty.
Yeah. So, yeah, for whatever worth it is. Let's end on this. Robert Downey Jr., he, first off, if you didn't know, he won the Golden Globe for Oppenheimer, and he should win the Academy Award for Oppenheimer, for that matter, for supporting actor. And I love the line he said where it's like, by the way, to my fellow nominees, do not get discouraged. This is more for me like a Most Improved Player award.
What?
Like, because he's sort of like, it's like, I kind of needed to practice my skills on this.
Right.
I kind of like that line. But he was kind of quoted as saying, with this Tropic Thunder character, which if you did not know, he basically like played a black guy, which was the joke.
He was apparently, if you see on the details, his character was a method actor from Australia that got really deep in his
He
character.
got pigmentation surgery to become
So
black.
yeah, for the fucking thing, he got pigmentation in his skin
Mm-hmm.
to look like a black dude, and he started doing like the
Mm-hmm.
accent and everything and the mannerisms. It's like, bro, like the fact of my character was a parody.
For those also that don't realize this, This came out the same year as Iron Man. Just want to point that out.
No, let me tell you that he got nominated for that character in the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
But it was because that year was shit.
Yeah.
That year was shit of movies. I remember that fucking year, and it was a year when Heath Ledger died because he was
No, but I'm just saying, it's like that was the same year we started his big comeback with Iron Man, and then he did that. So
Right.
I just found that funny. It's like the same difference. Anyway, he was talking about that with this is coming from Variety, by the way. So I know this is like quoted from is she all right?
Yeah, she's fine.
Okay. It comes from Variety and all of that, so it's sort of like secondhand. But he was kind of arguing that people kind of didn't get the joke of it because the audience has gotten muddled. And the fact he used All in the Family as an example, saying that the audience is not confused or not stupid. They're very smart, in fact.
Of course.
But the message has gotten muddled and how it gets to them. And it's like they don't get the full thing. Like All in the Family had like a preamble. I don't know if you ever actually saw All in the Family. Have you seen All in the Family?
Which one is that?
That's the one from the 70s with the bigot guy. Boy, the way the Yankees played. You never seen that one, right?
No.
So, kind of bring everybody full circle here if you don't know. All in the Family was made in the 1970s by a creator by Norman Lear. It's based off of a British sitcom.
Okay.
But the idea is, the hook of it was, this guy is a bigot from, like, the old days he served in WW2 and all that. And it's sort of like he's so set in his ways. The joke was always at his expense. It was the old man that doesn't want to change. Like, they would deal with serious topics, like The Jeffersons is a spin-off of All in the Family.
Okay.
By the way, Sherman Hemsley kissed him on that show.
Okay.
So that's the kind of crap we're dealing with here. Like, we're pushing boundaries in a satirical way to bring light to them.
Okay.
That was what his argument was with the Tropic Thunder thing. It's like, I'm doing all this stupid shit to point out how insane some of this stuff
Yeah,
is.
it's like he was saying.
But it got lost in the messaging.
Yeah, I guess so.
But he said it's like we kind of lost a sense of where our direction is with the message, because this is all meant satirical to kind of make you think and to go, don't do that. And now we're kind of laughing at it, but not laughing at it in the way we're supposed to. It's just like, this is so stupid, it's funny. It's like, there's an actual message behind this.
Yeah, the thing is that he wanted to make fun of what it.
He wanted to make fun of he wanted to make fun of like the Daniel Day-Lewises who take it too seriously.
The Jim Carrey also.
Jim Carrey can go a little bit, but at the same time, I feel like he kind of gets so deep into a character that he loses himself. Like, Daniel Day-Lewis apparently demanded freaking carriage rides when he was Lincoln to go to work.
Really?
Yes. So that's the kind of level we're dealing with here.
Sure.
And that's what he was saying a joke of about this. Like, there's too much method acting.
Yeah.
And you brought this up also. He also said, about like how his Marvel stuff will never be fully appreciated for what he did, which I agree with him on, because if you did not know, 90% of Iron Man 1 was improvised, and I'm pretty sure a good chunk of Iron Man 2 was also.
Yeah. Like,
And
you see it on the fucking dialogue. It's like very quirky.
Well, I think it's like they took Larry David's idea from Curb Your Enthusiasm, which, if you don't know, they sort of have a rough sketch of what they're going to do with a scene, and then they just let the cameras roll and play with it. Like, maybe they don't say the dialogue, they make the dialogue up on the fly, but they get to the point of the end of the scene.
Yeah, it was a nightmare, by the way, when they fucking dubbed it in Spanish.
Oh, I imagine.
It was a fucking nightmare, because I remember watching it in English when we firstly saw the first one, and then my dad like, let's watch it in Spanish. He's like, it's not the same thing. I mean, Dad, they're trying really hard to keep up with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he's rapid fire.
He is like, no, you can't. You cannot.
But also, it's like scripting. Iron Man 3. Look, I don't think the movie was that bad. I think they got a lot of good ideas. It wasn't the best movie, and I think it was also because they sort of took what made Iron Man worked. Like, it worked for the movies of the Avengers and all that because they needed the structure.
Right.
But when it came to Iron Man, not so much.
I like the first and the second one.
Oh, the second one I think is the best one.
Yeah. I haven't seen it in a million fucking years.
Yeah.
Honestly.
We have it on Blu-ray. We have most of those movies on Blu-ray, actually, because your husband's a psychopath like that.
I know.
Yeah.
My husband is a psychopath.
But, yeah, so it's just, I don't know, it's something I wanted to kind of bring up. I kind of hoped, look, we don't have the audience or we don't have the same energy we would otherwise, but I wanted to kind of wrap up on something like that because it's sort of been a theme of exposing or maybe questioning things with the AI and the
right.
Wacom and just general stuff. So, yeah, I think that's going to about do it for us tonight, more because, as I said, we have to get ready for this. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. I know we kind of did this on the fly. Tomorrow, so with Illy out of gaming mode at the moment, it's going to be on me. So I'm going to try and do some gaming tomorrow. I don't know what yet. I really don't know, and I have a bunch of games I can pick from. I know that.
Yeah, I know.
So we'll see what comes up with that. Are you going to try and do like a pen and paper thing, or are you not going to worry about it?
The problem is that I can't do
Okay.
it. And
However, you should watch at Draws Illy on Instagram and Illy Draws on Mastodon and our Discord. I'm sure you'll be posting some pen and paper stuff there.
No, for sure. Like, I'm gonna take this week to doodle some doodles on my actual notebooks and such. It's not a bad thing.
No.
I think it's a
Back
good
to basics.
week. It's a good week to do face studies and that kind of stuff. I'll post
Yeah.
updates and that kind of stuff. I also think that I needed some air from my story because I feel that the tragedy line was getting too overwhelming for me.
Maybe.
So it's like, you know what? I need to stop for a second and just let it breathe a bit.
That's not a bad thing. Also, kind of reassess where you're going with the story, also.
Yeah, also that. So I want to say thank you for everyone that passed by.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. We really do appreciate it. Thank you for
again.
Demon King for checking in with us, also.
Sorry again for what happened yesterday. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. We were like out
Accidents
there.
happen.
We were eating chimichangas earlier.
Oh, I was having a great day. I got 2
Yeah.
more books to my Expanse collection. I got the Crimson Twins for G.I. Joe. I was having a great day.
I had a big ass margarita from
Yeah.
Chuy's and that big ass chimichanga. I had a nap.
Yeah, and then this happened,
and
but
then
life
that
happens.
happened, but
We got it fixed. We will be back to normal hopefully next week. And until then, if you guys like what you're hearing here, please consider giving us a follow if you're new. If you're a lurker, thanks so much for sticking around. We always appreciate lurkers. You don't have to interact or anything, but you are the backbone of our audience. I don't want you to feel like you're being ignored.
also try to recommend us. We are funny. We try to be funny.
You maybe not so much me.
Well, we try to do things. We're trying here.
Look, I
people.
promise. I will not do anything else to my finger this week.
I got nothing.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and have a good night. Please, if you're in this winter storm, be safe. Don't go out unless you have to. Stay warm. And, yeah, good night, everybody.
Love you, kisses and such.